going to do some kick-ups today. Last week was a bit different. So last week, if you remember, we did some touches in between, we did some touches on top, and then we combined it all with some movement, with some turns, and then we finished off with some dribbling. So everything I did last week was the ball on the floor. Completely different today. We'll try something different. We'll have a lot of fun with it. We're going to do the ball in the air today. So those kick-ups I was just doing has taken years and years of practice and learning, and I'll show you how I remember learning and how we teach our kids at the moment as well. So, and this can be from 3-4 years old all the way up until, you know, we're doing it with our 9-year-olds at the moment as well. And I'll kind of go through the levels like I did last week as well, and we'll treat it as the computer game. To start off with, all we do at football is just holding it, kicking it and catching it. Just kicking and catching, kicking and catching. Now for the younger ones, for your 4-year-olds that we do in our session, you need to have a lot more fun with this. You can't just do kicking and catching with the 4-year-olds. You'll probably get their attention for about, 30 seconds. If I was to grab the 4-year-olds though and say, go and grab mum or dad, and then hold the ball and kick it at their bum, all of a sudden, completely different practice, and the kids absolutely love it. So get involved with the little ones and get them chasing you, and then just practice kicking the ball at you. Hopefully you've got good neighbours like I have, because the balls will probably go over the fence. But for the younger ones, get creative as well. So kicking at you, kicking at your bum, that sort of thing, they love it. With the older ones, we just do kicking and catching. Now, if that's easy, we can move from right foot, and then we can do some left foot as well. And we go from right to left. The coaching points, where kids struggle with this one, is using your laces and then a slight bend of the knee. So you don't want a complete straight leg when you do it, and you want to use the laces. When I show the kids this, I actually get the football, I crouch down to them, and I put the ball where it should be on their laces. So I want them to feel the ball where it should actually be. And that gives them that feeling of, all right, okay, I'm going to go away and practice that. So if you watch this one in slow motion, you'll see my bend, my knee bends slightly, and you'll see the ball touching my laces. Now some kids do it slightly differently, and you know what? If kids are doing it and they're kicking the ball and it's coming back to their hands consistently, sometimes I'll say to the kids, teach me how you do it. The end result is what's important, not exactly how. But the ones that are struggling, I would say slight bend of the knee and then use your laces. So if you watch this. The ones that practice it and can do it quite well, then it's just repetition. The other thing I try and do to add some more control is try and say to them, try and keep the ball, when the ball comes up, try and keep it between waist and head height. And that really is all about control. The ones that are just booting it up really high, I let the younger ones do that, that's fine. The 4, 5, maybe 6-year-olds, they can kick it as high as they want. The older ones though, we try and say in between waist and head. In between waist and head, and that way you're adding some control to it as well. If that's quite easy and you can do that without the ball touching the floor, then we move on to, now what some coaches say is you can move on to 1, 2, and keep doing that. So do 2. If you can do that easy enough, then that's fine. You're probably ready to start kick-ups. What I find though, with your kind of maybe 6, 7, some 8-year-olds as well, is that there's a bit in between that a lot of coaches miss out, and it works so well. You can have a lot of fun with it. I call it quite simply kick bounce. So basically it's just letting the ball bounce, kick it, let it bounce. Again, try not to let it go above head height. Kick it, bounce, kick it, bounce. Try and get both feet involved if you can, and just loads and loads of kick bounce. With that one, you can progress if you want and use the side of your foot as well. So all you're doing now is you're just saying to the kids, keep the ball in the air, just keep it bouncing. So laces, side, laces, bring it back, and then just keep practicing to keep that ball in the air as long as you can. To progress from there, it really is just keeping the ball in the air with any part of your body, except for your arms and your hands obviously. If you need to use your hands just to keep it going, then that's absolutely fine as well, and we do this in training. So it really is just using any part of your body to keep the ball in the air. So that's laces, right foot, get my left foot involved, right foot, bit of side foot maybe, and then might just hit my knee a little bit, anything at all to keep the ball in the air. This practice is huge. So many kids do loads of stuff with the ball on the floor. Keep it in the air. Keep it in the air if you can. It's such a good practice for, eventually you'll need it for shooting, for passing, when someone throws the ball at you from a throw-in, loads of reasons. So for those that find the kick bounce quite easy, so bouncing, always letting it bounce, you can naturally progress to doing 2 or 3, let it bounce again, 1, 2, 3, or however many you can. Use that, use the other foot, and then kids on their own will progress and progress to the point where eventually they'll just start doing kick-ups. Good. Okay, to finish off with, this is loads of fun I had with my 3 kids earlier this morning in the garden, and we were learning how to do the rainbow flick, and they loved it. So the rainbow flick is capturing the ball behind one of your feet. So I'm going to capture it here behind my left. You're going to roll it up slightly and then just flick and flick it up. So if you have a look closely now, what you're doing is you're putting the ball behind one foot, any foot you like, with the other foot, capture it there so it's nice and tight, roll it up slightly and then flick it up. So lastly, I'll try and combine everything together. Try and do a rainbow flick and then keep the ball in the air with some kick bounce or some kick ups. So, rainbow flick and then kick bounce, whatever you can. Left foot, right foot, bouncing. Do 2 or 3 at a time if you can. Good. Kids, keep active, keep strong, keep healthy, keep eating the right foods. Do some exercise inside, do some exercise outside. At training, we do loads of stuff. You do your high knees, we do our press ups at training. You can do all of that. Right, thank you. See you next week.